All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to start building up our HUD for our health bar and get that all wired up into our health system so that we can see what's going on with our health and our nourishment and so forth on the screen. So I hope you enjoy the video and thank you for watching. All right. So on this this week or this time around, slow this down again. Let's hit play. This time around, what we're going to do is we're going to fix a couple of things. You'll notice that, oh, maybe I already fixed it. Well, I guess I'll show it to you then. And actually, if I did fix it, then I want to make a change. We can rotate around, but when we go in this mode, we can no longer turn around and see our own face. So I fixed that. Did not realize that I had done that. So let's go into characters and ERISA blueprints, and let's take a look at ERISA BP. And I put this in the wrong place actually, so let me explain what it does. Let me first of all make this all a little bit bigger here so we can all see what's going on. What I did was I went into the blueprint here and I created this event tick that comes out here and it checks the velocity for greater than 0. And if the velocity is greater than 0, it sets the user controller use controller rotation yaw to true. Otherwise, it sets it to the same value as to whether we're in first person mode. So the idea here is that no matter what mode we're in, if we're moving, we want that rotation yaw to be fixed so that the character moves with the camera. But if we're not moving, we only want to do that when we're actually in first person mode. Now what I'm going to do is take all of this though and Control X to remove it. And I'm going to come back here to our character blueprints and get our player character base blueprint, and I want to put it in here, and I'll just let's back up a little bit. I'll paste it in there. We'll comment it, create a comment block, and the comment block is going to be called set controller yaw based on mode, something like that. So this is now in our base, so it's going to apply actually to all. Why are these? Yeah, they're in there now. Okay, that was kind of odd. They didn't pick up. All right, so let's test it and make sure that didn't break anything. I'm sure it didn't. So now we can rotate it around, but when we're moving, we can't. We follow it. When we're in first person mode and we rotate, now there's our shadow. Our character's turning with our camera rotation, so we don't turn around and look ourselves in the face. So we've got a little bit cleaner first person mode here to work with. So that's taken care of. Now the HUD, and I've got some icons here, but the HUD's not was it displaying? Let me see. Oh yeah, it is displaying. Okay, so I also started to add a HUD, and we'll do some more with this. I want to show you exactly what I did with this HUD. So let's look at our common HUD widget, our common widget. What I did was I put here a progress bar on the canvas down in this corner. And the progress bar is set up such that it has, and we'll do probably another one for something else very shortly here, but the progress bar has a couple of things set up in it. And I'll have to see where they are. Progress. First of all, let me dock this so this is bigger and we can see it. Where's the settings for this? Appearance. I've got the progress bar selected. fill color and opacity, border padding, progress. Why am I not finding, do I have the right thing selected here? Yeah, the progress bar is selected. Okay. Why am I not seeing it? This isn't it. Is there something hidden in one of these? Now why? Details. Progress bar 14. Nothing weird going on here. Style. That was closed. Okay. Style. So the background is set to this image I have of a black heart, and I'll show you where that is. So let's go over here and go to icons. So this is the black heart. It just, there is actually a heart in there. It's just got a black background because that's the way they display it here. And overlaid on top of that is a fill image of a white heart. And what happens now is if we go to our value percent, I've created this function called health. And we can go to that here on the graph, and here's that progress bar, or I've created it for that item, health. So this is what we do. We get our player pawn, and we cast that player pawn to the player character base, and we go out and we get that health component that we built in the last videos, and from that health component we get the health value. Okay, now this is getting a little bit tricky. First of all, the health is what we're going to return, but before we return that, we're going to set the fill color and opacity here to one of these colors. So we're as we go down in value, this is what happens. Okay, first of all, we're going to take the health and we're going to subtract it from 1, because when health is 1, that's mainly because I have these upside. I could have put these in the other order and it would have worked, but I wanted to have it go from 0 to 1 instead of 1 to 0 for this purpose here. I'm multiplying that by 3 and then doing a floor so that I get an integer value that's 0, 1, or 2. When this value is 0, we set it to green on this select. When it's 1, we set it to yellow. When it's 2, we set it to red. And that's the only 3 numbers that'll come out of this little algorithm here. 0 being the first one, meaning we're 100% or near 100% health. Actually divided into roughly into thirds, about 33, 66, and above. So I'll show you how that works, because here in our test map, we've got a little pain causer thing. I'll go into first person mode, and I believe it's this one. And you can see the heart is now lowering down. I'm taking damage, and now it's turned to yellow, saying, hey, watch out, your health is getting low. And when it gets down here, it turns red, and eventually it gets all the way to the bottom and we die. That's the function we had already done in the previous videos. So that's how that's working. So I had intended to actually build those, and somehow or for some reason they got included into the actual project, but I was having some difficulties with GitHub over the last week, and so that's probably what happened, and I pulled the wrong stuff into here. But those are completed. We'll do a little more work on the HUD. We'll add some more things in. For one thing, I want to add in to our HUD Right now we've got our first person mode HUD and our third person mode HUD, which we can put special things on there just for that. And we've got our common HUD here, which is going to have some basic things like our health, but we can also add in like hunger. So for and hunger was part of our health system, correct? Let's go back to our character blueprints. Health, was it under health component, and nourishment. So we can come to this health component and pick up nourishment, and we'll build a simple progress bar. And then we can add, once we build the progress bar, then we can do graphics with it at some point in time. So let's begin with that. So here's our HUD. Let's put in another progress bar. And in fact, I'm going to start grouping these progress bars together. So the first thing I'm going to do is drop in I think we want a horizontal box. Let's get a horizontal box in here in the canvas, and we'll drop this into the horizontal box. And then we'll grab that whole thing and pull it down here. And we'll bring the height up a little bit and we'll bring the width out. That's the progress bar. Oh, we want to drop it into the horizontal box. That's what keeps happening. I want to get the horizontal box and bring it down here. And then we'll go ahead and get the progress bar and we'll size it accordingly. Well, actually, what we need is the horizontal box size to content is what we need on that. So we'll just size it to content. That way we can drop another progress bar in here. So let's go here and go progress bar. Drop it into the horizontal box. This progress bar has some always fun finding information in here. Let's try width. No. I got the wrong progress bar. This one. Image size. Let's turn off style for the moment. Progress. We'll go ahead and set it all the way up to 1. We want top to bottom. And so like a size. Here's the transform. Scale, angular, share. Nope. I want to just be able to set the width of the thing. Border padding. Oh, there's got to be something here to set it. Width and height. Width at least. Let's do this. Let's go horizontal alignment to the left. Let's do fill. Okay. Scale in the X. There it is. Well, we can scale it in the X, but why is it overlapping that? Probably because we want to want it to fill that way. That one's there. Horizontal box. Let's pull the horizontal. Can we Set the width of the horizontal box. Size X. Doesn't seem to... Okay, let me figure this out, and I will pause the video, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't know if these kinds of progress bars can sit well in a horizontal box, given the way I'm configuring things or not. I couldn't seem to format that very well. I kind of wanted them all one piece. We might actually at some point in time make a separate widget just for the health things, and we can just display the widget where we want on the screen, and it'll have all of our accumulated health stuff. But for now, let's do this. I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm going to rename this progress bar to health bar. Excuse me. And I'm going to call this one the what did we call it? We called it nourishment. Okay. So we'll just rename this one so I spell it exactly the same. We'll do this. Nourishment bar. All right. So we're going to come over here to the percent value and create a binding for that. And we can do a little bit of reuse here. We can go back to our other function here, and we can grab all of this. Well, let's grab this. I don't need that input. Let's copy it. Nope. Go over to here. Paste that in. So we're going to come right into this. So we've got our health component. Let's get nourishment, plug it into the return value. And now for nourishment, we could do something very similar to what we did over here, but maybe not red, green, and blue. And maybe I'll change that too. Actually, you know what we could do is we can fix this right now. Let's change this to red. And change this one to green, 0, green, and let's get rid of this 1 minus and just plug this into here. I believe this is still going to work exactly as before. Oh, why is it showing black? That's strange. Health should be 1 times 3. Oh, health should be 1 times 3. Yeah, it should be green. It should be green, not black. And this health, that's the color target. And the return value is still health. We didn't change that. Odd. Health component. Health. Default value is 1. Why is it coming up, showing up black? Probably because I messed something up in here. Let's go back to the designer, back to this. Did I mess something up here? Set fill color and opacity. Oh. Well, I'm just setting the... Oh, I know what I did wrong. This alpha needed to be No, not that one. This alpha needed to be 0. No. No, it's not because of an alpha value. Set color. Should be getting the health value. That should all. What? Now, what the heck happened? That doesn't make any sense at all. Oh, now it jumps up and updates. How come when we start out, it's not going green? Health restore. Health default value is 1. It should just be a 1. Unless we've done something in here. Here's the health component. Health is 1. Nourishment, well, you know what? We should set all these to 1 in here for one thing. Coming through initially as 0, huh? Health component. Set the health component's stats to the stats component. That shouldn't matter. Well, anyway, we're going to move on. I'm going to go back here to nourishment. For the moment, we'll just set the bar to that. Now, we need something to... So health was pretty easy because over here we've got this volume that I put in here. And maybe I don't know if I explained this or not. Maybe I did when we were doing the component, but it's a pain-causing volume. If we want to reduce our nourishment, though, we need to use a trigger volume like this one. In fact, we can actually just go into this trigger volume. The blueprints, level blueprint, has nothing in it. If we go back and we make sure that trigger volume is selected, go back to here, right-click, we can create references to trigger volume, or we can add an event, collision, begin overlap, and add event trigger, collision, end overlap. So now we have those, and it's the other actor that we want. So we're going to do a cast to player character base. Then we want to get the health component, and we want to set nourishment. Actually, what we want to do is get nourishment and set it to subtract. We'll subtract about 0.1. Put that in there. Hook this up. Let's move this stuff around. So what we're going to do is get the actual nourishment we're currently at. We'll subtract 0.1 and set it back into the nourishment. Each time this overlaps, well, it's a one-time thing. Overlapping is a one-time thing. So actually what we need to do is make this... well, yeah, we'll just do that. That's it. This is just a test, so when we get a begin overlap, it should pull our nourishment down. We can walk in. Okay, why is it going bottom to top? Did I do that wrong? I do. Where's our HUD? Designer. This. There's that direction. Top to bottom. Bottom to top. That's a little odd. Well, now it's coming down, but why is it bottom to top? Oh, do I have it? So the percent's set to 1. Well, it's hooked up to this, so nourishment for Arissa is set to 1. Okay. That's a bit weird that bottom to top is the fill type. Oh, I see. Okay. I'll see if I can explain this. So by bottom to top, what they mean is that they're going to fill this up to the percent level from the bottom to the top. So that makes sense. Okay, so I wanted bottom to top for it to come down. All right. So good. We got the HUD started for that. I think I might change that a little bit in the future, but we'll work on that and see how we can organize it a little bit better. But right now, I really just want to get the wiring hooked up and get it displaying something, and we can always also fancy things up a little bit better in the future. So if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you really like the video, hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to get notifications when I upload videos, hit that notify button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.